All right, Mr. Beast. He's gonna talk about Beast Burger.
Where's MrBeast Burger? How many of them do you have?
Right now, we don't have any physical. We have 1,600 virtual restaurants.
So you order it online and then they deliver it?
Yeah, so like, let's say you own a mom and pop restaurant. You literally just sign up, go through the course, you learn how to make all the stuff on a menu, and you just order our ingredients and our packaging, and then you just flick it on Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub, and you can start taking orders, and we let you keep a majority of the revenue. So it's basically like, it's a win-win for restaurants, especially when COVID first hit. It was like huge for a lot of restaurants because I was pushing it really hard back then. And like some restaurants, you were literally laying off people, and then they started serving Beast Burger, and some of them doing like 10 grand a week.
Where's MrBeast Burger?
All right, so he gave them rights to sell Beast Burger, but what happened was the Beast Burger was lacking the branding. People were complaining that they wasn't done. It was like, I let my goddamn kids down. And then they allegedly, this is the lawsuit that he filed, saying that the company he partnered with was using his name, image, and likeness without getting approved by Mr. Beast and all these other places. And then out of the blue, right after they sued his ass for $100 million, you know, seeing that, you know, all these bad reviews, they just like, look, man, we about to sue you for $100 million. Next thing you know, he drops the case. He drops it, just drops it. But their case is still going on, right? They're still suing him for $100 million for breach of contract, fraud, misrepresentation, business torts, all this stuff that we're about to get into, okay? And they want their $100 million. And they probably, I don't know if they're going to get it. Maybe they're going to settle. Maybe Mr. Beast is going to settle. And sorry for all the goddamn watermarks. People be stealing my court docs now. It's wild. You know, people don't want to do the work to get them, but they want to like, according to the court docs, they supposed to be like obtained by HenryResilient. They be like, nah, we're not gonna give you credit, and we're just gonna erase HenryResilient. So now I made it just a little harder to erase, if you will. All right, so look, he's getting sued for $100 million, and they're saying, look, you have 20 days after the date of service of this summon, or within 30 days after service to respond. Now, this was filed on 8/7, okay? 8/7. And I've had it for a while. It's just, you know, XQC stuff has been going, all right? And it looks like it's a lot of pages, but it's really not. It's an illusion. It looks like 26 pages, but it's not. So what do they have? This is brought to you by Virtual Dining versus Mr. Beast, and they put out his government, which is easily to find. Introduction. This case is about social media celebrity who believes his fame means that his word does not matter, that the facts do not matter, that he can renege and breach his contractual obligations without consequence. He is mistaken. They like, nah, we coming for your ass. We coming for you. Like any party to a contract, Mr. Beast must be held to his word and held accountable for his contractual breaches and other misconduct, including but not limited to, they throw in the goddamn whole kitchen sink. I believe it's 9 counts, right? 9 counts. Failing to comply with contractual publicity and promotional obligations, failing to publicly support the brand, and in fact, undermining it, which he does, making untruthful or misleading statements, denying access to blocking jointly owned social media accounts, making disparaging comments, failing to form one or more jointly owned entities, violating non-solicitation obligations, breaching his implied covenant of good faith, fair dealing, torturous interference with their contractual relationships, 10, torturously interfering with plaintiff's prospective business advantage. They hit him with 10 counts, guys. 10 counts. Can't even read it because all the damn watermarks. You can read it. I'm reading it fine. What are you talking about? It just says HenryResilient. Anywho, focus on my words, guys. Focus on my words. They hit Trump. Trump has been charged with 91 counts, I believe. They hit Trump with the RICO. And you want to hear something funny? Rudy Giuliani created the RICO. Now he's being charged with the RICO. It just come in full circle. But I really don't do politics around here. But anyway, I believe we can skip through most of the stuff because we know it's a virtual restaurant that started out of COVID, and the whole goal was to further the MrBeast brand in exchange for a share of revenue and later a stake in the business. Donaldson was already one of the fastest growing digital creators globally, having amassed a loyal and extensive fan base by creating YouTube videos featuring elaborate stunts and by creating a persona, inaccurately as it turned out, suggested that this is more interested in charity than profit. Okay. They go on to show his subscribers, but let's get into the meat and potatoes. All right, the meat and potatoes. He will get probation. Anyway, in November 2020, an event designed and tested to help launch MrBeast Burger, plaintiffs organized that pop-up that took place in the town of Wilson, North Carolina, just a few miles from his home. You remember the home? Everyone remembers. Everyone remembers it, okay? It was a YouTube video everyone watched, and all I'm doing is skipping the unimportant stuff, okay? Stuff we already know from the first time I covered it. You know, as the MrBeast Burger business boomed, him and his licensing company schemed to exploit their leverage and renege on their agreement in an effort to seek a better, more lucrative deal. This is the first part where the F stuff starts coming in. For example, in an effort to pressure the plaintiff into transferring to him part of their business interests, MrBeast bullied them on social media and threatened to terminate the parties' agreements if the plaintiffs did not accede to his demands. In doing so, he fabricated a number of purported breaches of the parties' agreements, to which was demonstrably false. So now they're like, yo, he's bullying us, right? And what happened? For example, MrBeast latched on to various complaints about the burgers as themselves as a breach of contract. It was not. There was some complaints about burgers, as is customary for many burger restaurants, but those were relatively few in the number compared to the overall number of burgers sold. Every restaurant gets periodic bad reviews, and every company that sells product to the public has unsatisfied customers. The reality is that the overwhelming majority of customers, right, were highly satisfied, and the product was excellent. So now they're saying he cherry picked. Did MrBeast cherry pick the goddamn bad reviews to say breach of goddamn contract? I don't know. MrBeast depended on the combined efforts of hundreds of restaurants cooking the same menu. Plaintiffs never cooked any of the brand products themselves, but rather put into place an underlying infrastructure using the restaurant industry expertise and business know-how. So basically, if you can make a burger, you can cook for MrBeast. All right. Now, plaintiffs are professional with decades of restaurant and business experience. MrBeast has no such background or experience. God damn, they just throwing shots. That's a shot. That is a shot. However, MrBeast did, offer fame and a massive global platform. But for MrBeast's opportunism, MrBeast Burger would have continued its explosive growth. So they basically, if he wouldn't have became a bully and started sabotaging us, the business would have grew more faster. Okay? But rather than being a responsible and mature business partner, MrBeast was determined to lever his fame and platform against them. Okay? Despite the fact that they put MrBeast into the food industry. Sorry, I got like a moth up in his joint. They put his ass into the food industry. He decided to pressure them to sell all or a material portion of the MrBeast Burger to him by using his massive online presence to sabotage the brand. Okay? So now, think about this, right? And here we go right here. They got a tweet. For example, on June 8th, 2023, MrBeast posted the following tweet. God damn. If I had the ability to close it, I would have done so long time ago. Sadly, sometimes when you're young, you sign a bad deal. And this is June 9th, 2023, guys. This is fresh. And or about June 16th, he posted this. If I could, I would if I could. The company I partner with won't let me stop, even though it's terrible for my brand. Young Beast signed a bad deal. So remember, guys, anything you put on social media is evidence and it will be used against you. Here's another one. Yeah, it's impossible to guarantee the quality of orders with virtual restaurants. Hurts my soul to see orders messed up. Sadly, I can't get out of my deal with BB. All right, he continues. Hence why I'm never giving up control of Feastables, so I can always do what's best for my fans. Harsh lesson to learn. Now, you know the deal is all about them. And remember, they're partners in this, right? They're partners in this lawsuit. And this part is the parties where they both basically go on and, you know, say who's in the lawsuit, where everyone lives, jurisdiction and venue. Remember, guys, if I'm skipping something, it's because it's not important. All right? It's legal talk. It's legal talk. So prior to MrBeast's misconduct, over 1,500 MrBeast Burgers locations operated in 45 plus states and Washington, D.C., without approximately 200 plus locations internationally, covering more than 10 countries, and was expanding rapidly on their asses. Okay? What does this say? By way of brief illustration, only in 2022, of the 2 million orders placed on DoorDash and Uber Eats alone, almost 70% of customer reviews included 5 stars. These are different stats. So we got 70% 5-star ratings. So we got a 70% approval rate, probably a little higher if you account your 3 stars, your 4 stars, your 5 stars. But 70% are 5 stars. This is almost half of MrBeast Burger customers are returning customers. So these are repeat customers. What else happened? They entered into a endorsement and service agreement in September 3rd, 2020, as you can see right there. And this is where they have to approve things, right? The ESA provided a 4-year term. So we're talking about 4 years in this contract, during which MrBeast Company would cause MrBeast to attend production sessions and create marketing materials, attend personal appearances, provide ongoing social media support, author provided quotes, and otherwise public support the brand. So this may be some type of, every month you make one post for MrBeast Burger. Now, it only helps everyone because they get some. Now, the letter agreement. Given the undeniable success of MrBeast Burger, MrBeast negotiated to acquire an even greater interest in what he rightly concluded was an incredibly valuable venture. All right. On or about January 24th, 2022, Virtual Dining and MrBeast Company entered into a letter agreement which, among other things, amended certain portions of the ESA, including extending the ESA's term indefinitely, contemplated the formation of one or more joint venture entities to own and operate the brand, agreed on opening MrBeast brick and mortar restaurants, and required VDC to transfer stock in its business to BI. So this is where, they deepen the bond. Business is booming. MrBeast wanted some of the company. They rightfully give it because, hey, it's worth it. It's working. Okay. The defendants attempt to further procure even greater stake in MrBeast Burger. All right. Now, let's keep going. And this is the ESA where basically they become lifelong partners. Okay. Let me make sure I'm not skipping nothing crazy. Recognizing the significance and increase in value of MrBeast Business Burgers in or about November 22, February 23rd, and June 23rd, MrBeast attempted to retrade on the ESA letter agreement in order to obtain a larger share of the brand. So now we're talking about strong arming the company. Hey, we agreed to trade this much and now you want more? And they like, look, man, you're not about to just take the company from us, okay? What do they say? Frustrated by their inability to extract a new deal more favorable to MrBeast on March 30th, 2023, MrBeast counsel sent a letter to the plaintiffs fabricating several alleged breaches of the ESA and letter agreement. And we're about to skip most of this because we have to go to the important stuff. I believe I highlighted it right here. MrBeast next accused plaintiffs of filing international trademark registrations for MrBeast Burger without prior written consent. Remember we saw those pictures, guys? The pictures, where are they? Like right here? This picture right here where he said, oh, I didn't approve that. Now we're about to get their side of the story. Okay? This too was false. Defendants have always acknowledged that they have no ownership rights in any of Donald's intellectual property. However, the trademark applications were for MrBeast Burger and were therefore jointly owned by the parties pursuant to the ESA and letter agreement. Plaintiffs always intended to assign the trademarks to the parties' jointly owned company per the letter agreement, but the defendants, MrBeast, willfully failed to finalize and blocked the necessary corporate paperwork to create the company. Plaintiffs merely remain ready and willing and able to transfer those trademarks to a jointly owned company. So this is basically just not cooperating. They're not, hey, we're supposed to create this joint company. We can't create the joint company without MrBeast's signature. Hey, can you sign this, MrBeast?
Nope.
No. Y'all didn't give me as much as I wanted, so we got to stop everything. MrBeast then asserted that the plaintiff failed to create a jointly owned company. Right? This is where the he said, she said. This is where I say the truth is in the middle sometimes, guys. They didn't create MrBeast said, y'all didn't create the jointly owned company and permit defendants to appoint a manager thereof. MrBeast again ignored the facts. As noted, it was MrBeast who failed to finalize the paperwork and block the formation of the company. And while plaintiffs hired an interim manager for the brand with MrBeast's agreement, MrBeast failed to retain a permanent manager despite the plaintiffs bearing the cost of MrBeast's search. So, like, they're putting all this shit on MrBeast. Now, look, this is really big. Finally, the defendants, MrBeast falsely accused them of failing to transfer shares in VDC's business pursuant to the letter agreement, even though they had already done so on or about March 28th, 2022. Now, I don't have the letter agreement, but if this shit keeps going, stuff like the letter agreement will bring out the confidentiality or whatever the terms was of this company. Like what percentage do you think MrBeast owns? Okay. What do you think they own? In an April 5th, 2023 letter to MrBeast, plaintiffs spelled out these facts, rejecting defendants' baseless accusations and demanding that MrBeast rescind their assertion of breach or default to the purported right to terminate. Because look, MrBeast is trying to get out the contract. And they like, man, we already transferred ownership to you and you have not supported us like you're supposed to. And then you're making lies about us. It's all downhill. And MrBeast hijacked MrBeast's social media accounts and knowingly and intentionally disparaged and damaged the brand and its business. So they took over. They're about to basically go over some of the accounts that they lost, where they tried to post to MrBeast's Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram accounts on the announcement of MrBeast's launch in Mexico and Ireland. Later that day, those posts were unexpectedly deleted by MrBeast's management team, which also changed the login credentials for the accounts, cutting them off to access to them. Like, this is some shit, right? This is war. This is business. This is business, guys. This is business. And they recite the hey, you blocked us and then you blasted us. That's why I'm now focused on Feastables instead of Beast Burger. Virtual restaurants make it hard to guarantee the quality of the order. Feastables, I can actually be confident you'll get what you buy. Okay? Now, this where they get petty, guys. Look, people gonna be petty in lawsuits all the time, all the time. You like, no one is petty. I'm like, bullshit, bullshit. Ironically, MrBeast had no qualms about promoting Feastables, his chocolate brand, which has had material quality control issues, as evidenced by the following illustrative Amazon.com review calling the product terrible. Now, look, you know they both cherry picking bad reviews to support their argument, but it is what it is. You know. They repost the tweet that he sent out, and you know they cite it as misconduct. You know, and here are some other tweets, guys. You know, I started MrBeast Burger to help restaurants make more money during the pandemic, and it worked. But sadly, when working with 2,000 restaurants I don't own, it's impossible to guarantee the order quality. I'm moving on from MrBeast Burger so I can focus on Feastable again, making snacks. You know. If I could, I would, but you know, this is him talking about destroying the relationship with the company. If I could, I would, but the company I partner with won't let me stop, even though it's terrible for my brand. This is more stuff that I already read. Guys, remember, your tweets are forever. Your tweets are forever. Now look, he deleted the tweets, but they were nonetheless memorialized forever in numerous online articles. Look, guys, when MrBeast, XQC, some of these bigger streamers tweet, it's everywhere. You can't erase it even if you wanted it. All right. Now they go on to cite all the articles, and basically they're saying, hey, breach of letter. This is him breaking the contract. It's all legal stuff. Third cause of action, breach of good faith in dealing. He's not acting on the best interest of the company, even though they have a joint partnership. We're skipping through all this. Remember, guys, if I'm skipping it, it is whatchamacallit. It's not important. Hey, we want an injunction. Stop him from damaging the brand. Okay. What else? Business interference with contractual relations. Yes, his tweets are hurting our business because restaurants are not going to sign up because MrBeast does not support it. Like, we're going through all this. Like, they're basically citing every claim, and all of the evidence was already mentioned. They want a declaratory judgment, so they want money. Remember, they're suing for $100 million. More declaratory judgment. $100 million is their number, and for him to stop doing what he's doing. And I'm wondering if they're gonna make a deal, because you have to wonder. And there is the lawsuit. This is a civil lawsuit. I saw someone post a question. This is a civil lawsuit. MrBeast, guys. Look, this is business, guys. I don't think MrBeast is like a bad person or anything like that per se. But at the end of the day, this company is on his ass for $100 million. He dropped the lawsuit against him, but they did not drop the lawsuit against him. He dropped it against them, and they just brought a $100 million lawsuit against him.